the Sassy Math Teacher. In this video, I'm going to be walking you through how I track my student data and also how they track their own data. This information is really helpful when it comes to end of year testing because students know exactly what to pinpoint when it comes to their study time. So I will add that this video was originally filmed for teachers who have already purchased my student data sheets. However, I think the information included will still be valuable to you even if you don't download it. But if you do want it, then you can just grab it from the box down below. All right, let's dive in. Hi, thank you for downloading the Student Data Tracker Pack. I've added quite a few things to your download and I just want to briefly demo how to use it. So first up, you have 3 different Excel or shall I say Google Sheets spreadsheets that you can use. So each one of them will begin with this how to use page. And then you're going to have a blank template. And with the blank template, you can just add your students' names in and then add your own standards and add your unit title. But then if you're a Virginia teacher, I have already included these standards for you for 6th through 8th grade. And when the standards change, I will update this. But as you can see, I have added some, fake data into the spreadsheet just to give you an idea. You'll notice that it's color-coded based on the student's grades. So what I have here is that if the score is an A, it'll be green. And if it's a C or a B, it will be yellow. And then anything a 69 and below will be red. So it'll automatically change colors for you as you use it. And when you come to the bottom, you will see class averages for each standard, right? And also it's going to give you like a class average for all of the individual standards. Okay, so what this does is it takes the average of these 5 numbers and puts it here. Now, the benefit of this is to make a data poster. So if your school likes data tracking to the extent where posters are on the wall, then this will make it really easy for you. Okay, so like I said, you have 6th, 7th, and 8th grade Virginia SOLs and then the blank one. And then for this is for individual student test scores. So students can keep track of their own scores. So they'll just come into their data sheet, each unit, each standard, and actually record their quiz grade, their test grade, and their retake. And again, it is automatically formatted to change colors for you. Just like with the last one, there is a blank one. If you have more standards than are pictured here, I suggest clicking the last row and then just do insert row above. So I right clicked and then insert row above, and then you can just go back and type this in. Okay, if you insert row above this, it will give you another black row, and that's not what you want. So that's the workaround. If you don't need this many rows, then just right click and delete the row. Okay, and then you can type in the actual titles for your units. And then it starts off without the student's name, so they have to add their own name to it. What's next? Okay. The next thing is for you to monitor, well, not monitor, more, you're just going to track it. So when it comes to standardized test scores, here in Virginia, that's the SOL. I don't really refer to it throughout the year unless, unless I need to. And that's pretty rare because I don't like to think of my students as numbers, okay? But if I see, okay, a student really struggled last year, I know to give them extra support, right? And so what I've done for you here is you will put their scores from their prior school year. So if they were in 6th grade last year and they're in 7th grade now, that will go here. And then at the end of the year, you can come back in and put their new grades or new score. Okay. That way you can actually see the percent change and see how that changed. Okay. So like this will be a 5% increase. This will be a -4% decrease. So I just think it's a neat way to see that students have grown, even if they, didn't pass, there was still growth shown. So that's also in here. And of course, if you're not in Virginia, just change that to whatever you use, like the Georgia milestones or something. Okay. Let me make sure whole class I did that. Okay. And then, like I said, data posters. So with the data poster, what you're going to do, if you teach more than or less than 10 units, you can just delete a column, okay? And then you can just stretch this back out. So if it has too many for you, just delete it and then recenter the graph. All right. You can also, let's see. If you teach more than 10 units, which I feel like it's probably rare, you can insert a column to the right and then just type in unit 11 or whatever you need. Okay. And then I would, let me see if I can make that a little bigger because it does look kind of funny now that I look at it. Okay. There we go for that one. That's 18. Okay, so then just, play with it. So the way this would work is you would print it out and then have your students color it in. Not have your student, you could have one of them colored in, but like where we had here, the average was 88, then I would take this up to 88. Okay, so if I were to actually fill this in now, it's going to look like it's at 90. So you could do this by adding in a shape if you didn't print it, of course, and just, add it in, fill it in, and then that's where it would be, 88. Okay. But if it was, something where it was actually perfectly 90, then you could just go in and fill this with a color. Okay. And maybe it actually, I just had an idea. Let's see how this looks. If you do that and then just take off the top by adding a white shape. So I guess, that technically would work too. Okay. So that's that. And then your student data tracker. Ooh. So this is the original, but I've just added to it. This is for you to print and to keep in your students' binders. I have one of those here. This looks a little different. So they just keep that at the back of their binder. Before you print this for them, you may just want to go in and add your units, okay? And that's pretty much all you would do. There's an option for 8 units, 10 units, and 12 units. And that's that.